Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and we're here for another episode of the Raw reviews. So this is the Raw after WrestleMania, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to be honest, I personally really didn't mind this edition of Raw. I know, it's shocking, right? Shocking, I know. I do have some complaints, obviously, because you gotta have something you don't really enjoy. And the first 5 seconds, I'll definitely say the first 5 seconds I certainly didn't enjoy. We had Bobby Lashley and MVP arriving in the arena, and then immediately, we get Matt Riddle. Thanks, WWE. Thanks, WWE. I really wanted to see Matt Riddle at the beginning of this show. First, I thought we were going to be in for a really bad night if Matt Riddle was kicking off the show. Bobby Lashley destroyed Riddle, and that's just that. Please get Riddle off my TV forever. Get this dude off my TV, please. I swear to Christ, man, just get this dude off my TV. Send him to WWE Main Event. Seriously, this dude is awful. I don't understand why Vince McMahon likes Matt Riddle. I wish I knew. Apparently he's funny. If you like someone because they're funny, then why aren't you pushing Billie Kay? She's funny. Why aren't you pushing her because of her comedy? But yeah, that was the end of that. Shelton and Cedric were in the ring, and out came the Viking Raiders. We finally got Ivar back from his long injury. Great to see the Viking Raiders. I've missed the Viking Raiders. I actually like the Viking Raiders. I've liked them for quite a while since when I saw their matches in NXT. They're a really good team. They're a great team, and it's a real shame to see what happened to Ivar, that he was out for so long. But it's great to have him back. Great to have the Viking Raiders back on Raw, finally doing something. This was a nice shot to the arm for this awful tag team division. This tag team division has been so bad. The Viking Raiders coming back was a nice shot right to the arm for the Raw tag team division. We've also got a new commentator by the name of Adnan Virk, however you say his last name. And Corey Graves is also now back on Monday Night Raw. So I wonder if this means Tom Phillips and Samoa Joe are being moved over to SmackDown with Michael Cole. We'll soon see. Some people are even speculating Samoa Joe might return to the ring. We'll soon see. So we got a new commentary team. Byron Saxton was still there. So the Viking Raiders would defeat Cedric and Shelton. Cedric and Shelton as a tag team, I like them being together as a team. At least they didn't fully separate Shelton and Cedric. They're now as a team, and I did say that, keep them as a team. That as long as they're a team, you will have teams for you to use on your show. And yes, Cedric and Shelton lost again. I mean, I guess that means they're buried, right? Seriously, whenever you lose a match to these people, it's a burial. Somebody loses a match, it's a burial. I mean, come on. This is the wrestling community, so what do you expect? Every single loss to these people are buried. So I guess Sasha Banks was buried at WrestleMania then, since you want to go down that route. And I guess Bryan and Edge were also buried at WrestleMania, if you want to say every single loss is a burial. So the Viking Raiders won, as they should have. It's their first match back together as a team. So Great to see them back. Charlotte Flair, everybody's favourite superstar, made her return. Everybody loves Charlotte Flair. Everybody adores Charlotte Flair. I'm being sarcastic if you guys couldn't tell. Charlotte Flair made her return and she's now a heel again. I roll my eyes. And honestly, I didn't mind Charlotte's promo. I think this was probably the first heel promo she actually delivered that I could actually say I liked. She dropped a few lines I know certain people would not have liked. She dropped the lines about how she takes opportunities away from other people's favorite superstars. She doesn't apologize for being that damn good. You know, she said what she had to say, and I know certain Charlotte Flair haters would not have really liked what she had to say. She went on and listed basically everybody on Raw, from Alexa Bliss to Asuka to Rhea to Mandy to Dana to Nia to Shayna, and even SmackDown's Sasha and Bianca, pretty much naming them all and pretty much saying that none of them compare to me, saying that she's better than all of them. I like your Charlotte, but I disagree. I disagree that some of them are better than you. Asuka and Rhea Ripley had their rematch. And I want to go a bit off topic here real quickly here. This is still about Rhea, but I want to talk about something real quickly here. While Charlotte's segment was going on, I was watching at home. I was, obviously, where else would I be? So while I was watching this on my couch, my mother came out of her room and she told me that Rhea Ripley is making headlines, and she was on the radio, and she was on the Australian radios, and she's making headlines. Australia are now making headlines about Rhea Ripley, you know, becoming the champion, and it makes me happy. It puts a smile on my face. It makes me really happy, and this is why I want Australians to get the credibility that they deserve. This is why I've been wanting them as champions. This is why I want them to be champions. So then the people in Australia, the news analysts and the radio shows can all make headlines about them. This is why I want them champions. Now you people are starting to see why I want them champions. Because how would you feel if your home country like England or Ireland or other places, Japan, and your superstar from your country, you know, wins the championship and they make headlines across their country? Like, it brings a smile to my face. It makes me happy that Rhea becoming the champion has now brought a lot of headlines to Australia. The news analysts in Australia are now talking about Rhea. The people on the radio shows are now talking about Rhea, getting her on the phone to talk about her big historic moment, and it makes me happy. It puts a smile on my face. It makes me happy. This is why I want the Australians to be champions. So in that way they can make headlines. So in that way Vince McMahon and Triple H can see how valuable we Australians are. We freaking love this. We freaking love watching wrestling. We freaking love the wrestling. And we freaking love how important it is to see our people from our country be champions. Because we know they will make headlines. I know they will make headlines. And I wish Vince McMahon, you know, sees this and understands how valuable this is. So I wanted to bring that up. And it makes me very happy. It makes me very happy. So Rhea and Asuka had their rematch. Charlotte came out and caused a disqualification. She came out, caused a no contest between both women, beat them both up. So Charlotte is now establishing herself once again as a heel. Not a fan of Charlotte Flair as a heel. If you've followed my channel for a long time, you know I prefer her as a babyface than as a heel. But, I mean, kind of made sense. It made sense for Charlotte to be a heel because, you know, she got her opportunity taken from her. But also, this is also confusing. We also know Rhea Ripley turned heel. We also know Rhea Ripley's a heel. So that means Rhea and Charlotte are technically both heels, and Asuka is the only babyface. Why did you turn Rhea heel? Why did you turn Rhea heel if Charlotte Flair was going to ultimately come back as a heel? Now, I do love heel Rhea, but I do love Rhea as a heel, but now I'm confused. I mean, you turned Rhea heel, you bring Charlotte back as a heel. It's all over the place now. To me, it's really awkward. To me, it's awkward. To me, it's awkward and it's weird. I mean, whenever do WWE ever do things, you know, a way where it's correct? Alexa Bliss, she had her playhouse. She explained what she said. She went on to say that once upon a time there was a little girl named Alexa Bliss, who was the goddess. She was consumed by the darkness. Then the darkness left her. And then she asked the question, was the darkness really important? And then she betrayed the Fiend. And she now has a doll on her swing. Gee, I feel like someone's been watching my universe mode. I feel like someone's been watching my universe mode, I swear to God. Vince, are you been attending my live streams? I feel like you've been watching me. So Alexa Bliss has this doll next to her on a swing. And if I'm going to make a prediction on who I think this doll is, I'm going to say it's Nikki Cross. I'm going to say it's Nikki Cross. I mean, it makes the most sense. I mean, Nikki and Alexa getting back together might not be a bad thing. Hey, if it makes Nikki Cross a heel and it brings back the psychotic Nikki Cross that I once remembered, then maybe I'll like it more. Now, I know some people are going to ask me, would I like this version of Alexa Bliss over the Alexa Bliss that we had with Bray Wyatt? She technically is still the same Alexa Bliss. She's technically still the same version. She's just not without Bray. She's just now not with Bray. I just want the goddess back. I don't really care about this Alexa. I just want the goddess back. That's all I want. That's all I want. Just give me back the version of Alexa Bliss that I like, and then we'll call it a day. So yeah, she's got a doll now. Someone's been watching my universe mode. Clearly. Then we had Miz TV. Before we talk about shitty TV, Nia and Shayna were watching Mandy's slip at WrestleMania. They were making fun of her. Seriously, they were like a bunch of high school bullies, making fun of Mandy's slip. Mandy and Dana would attack Nia. Good. Can Mandy and Dana please end this reign of terror of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler? I am so over Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as the women's tag team champions. I've been over it since they originally won them at Payback. These two, sure, some people may say, oh, well, Nia and Shayna make a good team. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, sure, you can say they can make a good team, but do they seriously need to be tag team champions? It's time for someone else to have a turn. It's time for someone else to have a turn. If freaking Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, two bright young stars who have a bright future in WWE, if those two women can be champions, and you're gonna call them the future of WWE, why can't someone from the future have a turn with the tag team titles like Mandy and Dana? Mandy and Dana, they're not young. They're not any old. They're not old. They're young. They're still young upcomers. They're still up and comers. Yeah, Dana's been on the main roster longer than Mandy Rose, but these two women have never been given an opportunity. These two women have never been really been given much of an opportunity to really showcase what they can do. Mandy and Dana are a great tag team. I actually really don't mind them as a team. I like them as a team. Sure, some may say, oh, Sonya Deville was better. That's your opinion. But I prefer Dana and Mandy because I like them as a team. I want Mandy Rose to finally be a champion. I've liked Mandy Rose since she first came into WWE. I freaking love Mandy Rose. You know me, I freaking love Mandy. She's a great performer. I felt like WWE really should give her a chance. And Dana Brooke. I really hope Mandy and Dana are the ones that end Nia and Shayna's reign of terror. And considering WWE have been teasing a breakup between Nia and Shayna for a while, just freaking break them up. If WWE... I freaking hate when WWE tease a breakup, but then they don't do it. Every single time it seems like Nia and Shayna have issues, it tends to get back to normal. They lost the tag team titles to Asuka and Charlotte. They were having issues. They won the titles back. Now they're good friends. Nia gets Reginald involved. Shayna Baszler doesn't like Reginald hanging out. They're having problems because Shayna doesn't like Reginald. And now where the hell Reginald is? Now Reginald is gone. Now there's no sign. Now there's no sign of Reginald. And now Shayna and Nia are on good terms again because there's no more Reginald. Seriously. Just freaking end this ridiculous shit of these two as a tag team. Just end this crap already. I'm done with it. I'm done with Nia and Shayna as a team. Sure they're a dominant team, but I'm over it. They were originally supposed to feud. They were originally supposed to feud with each other, but now they're tag teaming. I freaking hate when they put two people that were feuding and then they go into a tag team. Kind of the same thing with Sheamus and Cesaro. But unlike Sheamus and Cesaro, they actually worked well as a team, and I actually liked them as a team. Shayna and Nia, I don't really care for them. So I hope this is where Mandy and Dana finally get their moment and they finally become champions. I doubt it because WWE, you know, every time they have a chance to create a new star, they don't take it. Because they would rather make the monsters remain like monsters, because if the monsters lose, oh, they're not monsters anymore, right? Shayna Baszler can easily take the pin. We've seen Shayna lose so many times. Mandy can pin Shayna. What is so wrong with having Mandy or Dana pin Shayna? What is so wrong with that? And then you can have Nia get mad at her. Simple as that. Then we had Piss TV. The Piss and John Pewison came to the ring for the most must-see toilet show in WWE history, Piss TV. And the reason why I call it the must-see toilet show is because this is where you want to go down and take a toilet, grab your toilet, and take a piss and a poo in it. Piss and Pewison. Piss, piss. Poo, poo. Seriously. If there's another team I wish would break up, it's The Miz and John Morrison. I don't mind Morrison. I don't mind Morrison being around. He's still a good wrestler. But I'm just done with this tag team. So Piss and Pewison had Maurice return, and the Piss is taking all the credit for Bad Bunny's incredible performance. And then Damian Priest comes out. He challenges them both to a handicap match. And Damian Priest suffers his first defeat on the main roster. So I guess that means Damian Priest is buried, right? I guess he's buried because remember, you lose a match, you're buried, according to the wrestling fans. So I guess that means it's career over for Damian Priest because he lost. I guess his career is over. You may as well go to AEW, right? Jesus. So now I know why Corey Graves is there. So we can listen to him frickin' go crazy over Maurice. Corey Graves, shut the hell up and calm the hell down. This woman's married. This woman is married. You should not be getting all creepy. Should not be getting all creepy about it. This woman's married. Now, I don't know if Maurice is back full-time. I don't know if this is their way of bringing her back full-time to WWE. I don't know if she's back full-time. I don't know if this was just a one-off appearance. I don't know if this was just a one-off. She was just going to make a one-off appearance and then she was going to go away again. Apparently they had her show up to talk about Ms. and Mrs. Nobody cares about Miss and Mrs. Does anybody even watch that? Let's have the Bella Twins come on the show and talk about Total Bellas. Does anybody even watch those shows? If that's all you brought Maurice back for, then you may as well send her back home. Seriously. So Miz and Morrison won with a sneaky roll-up, and Maurice, you know, was also heavily involved. So Damian Priest lost. What a shame. He lost his first match. What a shame. But it's okay. He will be all right. It's not, his career is not over. Mandy and Dana took on Nia and Shayna Baszler in a tag team match after what happened backstage earlier. Nia Jax would slip a couple of times, and I want to say this. As much as I found it funny to see Nia Jax slip and fall flat on her face a few times, I do not like hold on a sec. I want to stop right there. I actually just looked because I'm on WWE.com to talk about this. You know the article that they have when they watch, you know, they've got like a writing of the article here. Maybe Alexa Bliss won't be the goddess anymore because the first sentence on this article underneath says this. Despite Mandy Rose's slide at WrestleMania, the Goddess and Dana Brooke were looking to get off and running against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler at the WWE Thunderdome. They called Mandy Rose the Goddess. And my cat's at my window. So yeah, WWE just literally labeled Mandy Rose as the Goddess. Maybe this is why Alexa Bliss isn't going to go back to being the character, unless they made a mistake. I don't know if this was a mistake on WWE's behalf, or if they really now giving the Goddess title to Mandy Rose. I know she was once the Golden Goddess and God's greatest creation. Yes, those were her nicknames as a heel: God's greatest creation and the Golden Goddess. But is the Goddess necessary? Is the Goddess nickname necessary? I don't know if WWE realized who the hell their Goddess is anymore because they keep bloody naming everybody that. Couldn't have called Mandy something else? The Golden Rose? I'm not complaining. I'm not saying I'm complaining. I'm just saying I was just about to talk about this match, and then I saw the article, and I thought they made a mistake. But anyway, let's get on to the match. Let's get back to what I was originally going to say. I don't like that WWE are involving Mandy Rose's slip as a storyline. I think it's kind of silly, because you had Nia Jax do it twice. You had Nia Jax slip a few times, and they had Mandy and Dana laugh at her for sliding and slipping. And as much as I found it funny, I don't really like that they're involving Mandy Rose's slip as a storyline. I don't really like it. I think it's kind of silly, and I think it's kind of dumb. But I've said what I've said. I do hope Mandy and Dana are the team to dethrone Shayna and Nia. I highly doubt it, because WWE never give me what I want. They never give me what I want. They finally made Rhea Ripley champion, but that doesn't mean they're going to keep the title on her. Considering what we saw with Charlotte Flair, I wouldn't be shocked if they only had Rhea champion just so that they can pass it over to Charlotte, which was one of my biggest worries on my WrestleMania review yesterday. That is the key thing I talked about in my WrestleMania review on when Charlotte Flair was going to come back, and we all know she's probably going to challenge for the championship, and she's probably going to win the title. That was the main thing I talked about. So Dana and Mandy were laughing at Nia because she slipped and fell on her face. And this made them leave the ring. Some may say they're cowards for doing that, but, you know, what would you rather do? Would you rather stay in the ring and get pummeled by an angry Nia Jax? Or would you rather, you know, back away? Or would you rather back away? I think it would be best if you backed away. Because I don't think you would want to get your ass pummeled by an angry Nia Jax that you were just laughing at. So I think Mandy and Dana did the smartest thing and just, you know, call it a night for now and, you know, maybe get their hands on them sooner. As long as they win the titles, I really don't care. But knowing this company, they'll probably just have Nia and Shayna pretty much kill them at the next pay-per-view, and call it a day. New Day beat Elias and Jackson Ryker. Who the hell gives a shit? Also, there was a segment earlier involving MVP, the Bobby Lashley celebration. Bobby Lashley wasn't even there, so what the hell were they celebrating? Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, and Randy Orton came out. They all wanted to make their statement and their claim towards the WWE Championship. And thank the Lord, Randy Orton is done with The Fiend. I am so goddamn glad. I am so glad that they finally moved Randy Orton away from The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Alexa Bliss. And him clearly saying that he's done with them and their little split up. It's good they're moving Randy on to something else. Give Randy Orton a new feud. Please. I'm I'm glad this Fiend stuff is over with. I'm glad this Fiend stuff's over with, and now we can finally, so Randy Orton can finally move on and do something else. Send the guy over to SmackDown. Send the guy over to SmackDown. I love nothing more than to see Randy Orton versus the Tribal Chief for the Universal Championship. That would be an awesome match. So Adam Pearce makes a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Bobby Lashley's title. at WrestleMania Backlash. Yes, I don't know why they're calling Backlash WrestleMania Backlash, but they are calling it WrestleMania Backlash. And who the hell did you think won? Did you think we were going to get a new opponent? No, of course not. Drew McIntyre wins this match, and he's now the #1 contender once again for the WWE Championship. WrestleMania Backlash, huh? Well, I guess it lives up to its name. It's basically this is going to be, yeah, let's just do rematches from WrestleMania. Obviously, Randy and The Fiend ain't going to happen because Randy said he's done with them. So, oh dear. But, the end of the match, however, was a bit and weird and confusing. Drew would win the match, MVP would come on stage, and then out of nowhere, former Retribution members T-Bar, and Mace would come out and deliver high justice to Drew McIntyre and leave. I hope this means they're not joining the Hurt Business. I hope they're not joining the Hurt Business, because I really don't understand why what that was all about. But that also means poor Shane Thorne and Mia Yim, they're pretty much not going to be doing anything, since Vincent McMahon is clearly high on Dijak and Mace. Clearly he likes them more than the others. So I'm interested to see where this goes. So that is pretty much. I am interested to see where this goes with T-Bar and Mace, but at the same time, I really hope this doesn't mean they're joining MVP and becoming the new members of the Hurt Business. But hey, I guess we'll see soon enough. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this Raw review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. And now that WrestleMania week is finally over, now I can finally rest. And I'll be back to live streams. Well, not for long, because I'll be back at university next week. So you'll be getting 3 days of streams and SmackDown, and then one more stream on Sunday, and then it'll be back to university for me. So you'll be getting 4 more streams before I head back to university. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.